What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5. And guys, I'm so excited today to be talking to you about something that's been kind of pressing on me to talk about here recently, and that's the Top 5 opening acts that I've ever seen at a concert. About a year ago, I did my Top 5 concerts that I've ever seen. You can check that out at your own leisure. But I thought, this would be a good way to kind of shine a light on some of these artists that I had never really heard of going into some of these shows. And that's a great thing about seeing live shows. If you get there early enough, you may just find your next favorite band or artist. And, in some of these cases, really all 5 of these artists blew me away. And in some very rare cases, the artists I liked even better than the band or artist that I was going to see in the first place. So let's get right to it at number 5.
You were covered in ash, holding up.
Gregory Alan Isakov, an artist who I really had never heard of, and I went to see Ray LaMontagne at Chastain Park this past fall, and this guy was just unreal, man. He's a folk artist, but really has like a full band experience. They really have like a lot of really cool instrumentation that's very bluegrass in nature, but his songwriting is so good. And just recently, actually, just in the last few weeks, a new single dropped that is a song that he and Nathaniel Ratcliffe wrote together called Flowers. You should check that out. Just fantastic. And really, it was a perfect opening act to support Ray LaMontagne if you're a fan of his music. This is just very soulful folk music, and I'm just starting to get into him because this is the most recent one on my list, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be listening to this guy for a long, long time, and that's just my number 5. So now at number 4. Burlap to Kashmir, going all the way back to 1998. This was actually one of the first concerts that I had seen. I started going to shows in the mid-90s and kind of few and far between, and I was really into Jars of Clay at the time, and I saw them at a venue called Cowboys in Kennesaw, Georgia, of all places, and Jars of Clay was great, checked off all the boxes for me, but Burlap to Kashmir, man, totally blew me away. They were incredible, and I became a fan instantly. Actually, in this case, I would say I liked Burlap to Kashmir's performance better than Jars of Clay. And through the years, they've only made a couple records. Their first one, I think they still will never top anybody out there. But man, that song, especially live, was just incredible, so huge. And the guitar solos by Johnny Phillips, incredible. And the songwriting, I mean, just everything about this band I love. You get this kind of, they are, their heritage is Greek, and you really feel that. You also feel some flamenco vibes in the guitar playing, but all in all, the songwriting is just top level, whether, you're into Christian music or not. And Burlap to Kashmir, through the years, they're really just, they don't like being pigeonholed as being inside that box anyway. So I highly recommend this band to anyone that likes just great music. And that's my number 4. So now at number 3. The Helio Sequence. This was such a cool night. I think this was like 2005. They were opening for Kings of Leon at the Tabernacle, which was an awesome kind of intimate venue to see Kings of Leon as well. But man, Helio Sequence, just these 2 guys from Seattle, Washington, with a ton of things going on a laptop in the background. But man, the drums so powerful, and then the guy doing lead vocals, I forget both of their names right now. But the guitar and harmonica song especially, still to this day, is just one of my favorite songs of that whole decade. And it got me to get into their album Love and Distance, and so on and so forth. They are still putting out great music to this day, but Helio Sequence, man, what an opening band, unbelievable. And that's just my number 3. So now at number 2. The Black Keys, a band that, believe it or not, I had not heard any of their music going into this. And this was, I believe, 2010. Also, Kings of Leon was the top billing act, and the Black Keys opened for them. Man, it was an amazing show. And I just remember, like, this was now stadium size. Flash forward from 05 to 10, Kings of Leon had, come up a bit in the world, but it was more like background noise to me at the time, but I just remember like, whoa, these guys are great. And just thinking like songs like Sinister Kid and, basically everything off of the Brothers album that they were doing live at that time. I was like, I got to check them out immediately. And of course, then I went back in time to realize they'd been putting out records for like a full decade at that point already, and were just now kind of becoming the next big thing, which they rightfully would be. But man, what an opening act that was. Like Black Keys and Kings of Leon just equal, and just an amazing show. And that is just my number 2. So now at number 1, Please Please, at a little place called the Drunken Unicorn, opening up for the Life and Times, another great band that a lot of people maybe haven't heard of, but Please Please, man, a lot of you know by now. I've talked about them a lot on this channel, done several of their album reviews. I've actually had the pleasure of interviewing Dan Dixon, the head singer-songwriter, brainchild of the band. And yeah, just they are seriously one of my favorite bands of all time at this point. And definitely, just my favorite local Atlanta, Georgia band. And sadly, they haven't done anything in a couple years now, but hopefully they'll get back together and regroup. But man, everything from EP to Jet Black, just every album that they put out is fantastic. And really, they blew me away to the point where I was like, I actually liked them better than the Life and Times, which I love the Life and Times as well. Check out both bands, but man, what a night. One that I will never forget, where, we essentially, fell in love with Please Please. My wife also loves them. And yeah, it was just incredible. So yeah, that's my list, guys. Let me know in the comments below what have been your top 5 favorite opening acts that you've seen. I could go on and on this topic, but man, it's always great to get to a show a little early to try and catch something that might be something that you fall in love with down the road. So yeah, guys, more top 5s to come, album reviews, top 50s, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always,